the bottom line is that the marketing ecosystem is powered by data, and that data is used to drive advertising and targeting, which is how the system makes money. Now, companies need to engage, understand, and activate consumer relationships. This afternoon, we want to take a look at the data and technology gaps in the media and marketing ecosystem and how that can be addressed. Joining me in studio is Bright Lajakpo, who is CEO of PHD Ghana, Matt Angus Hammond, Regional Director, Geopol West Africa, and Peter Olum, who is Technology Development Manager, OMG West and Central Africa. Thank you so much for joining me in studio to have this conversation on how we address the data and technology gaps in the media and marketing ecosystem. I want to first start off with, because I was reading a piece that was sent to me about the availability of AMPS data, which is the All Media and Product Survey. It's typically done,
Typical
in a year, once a year, 6 to 8 months. Annually, yeah. When was the last time we had such information here in Ghana?
Unfortunately for Ghana, it's been a long time, over a decade. We haven't had what we call AMPS. In Ghana, we call it the GAMPS report. Okay. We haven't had one in over a decade.
How is that?
A couple of things. The funding gap that has existed over the years has culminated in a lack of practice and requirement for such data. And it's become commonplace to think that it's okay not to have that data. But you and I know that data actually provides a very powerful lens for us to understand the complexities around looking for the consumer today. It's a rapidly changing landscape. It's a tough time economically. And so it doesn't bode well for us as a market and as practitioners to work without a lot of data, and for that matter, data that is available quite recently. So even if we don't have GAMS, we have radio and TV audience measurement surveys, RAMS and TAMS we call it. But even that, it comes slowly, lags behind a couple of months. So by the time you are seeing the data and applying the insights from the data, it's old, but the consumer has moved on. They've changed their behavior. There may be some seasonality to it, or there may be an occasion, something may have happened, people would have changed. And so we need to have recency to the data that we have, if even we have it at all.
Yeah, because I was wondering how then businesses are planning, especially in the media landscape, with this unavailability of data, if you like. And so what's the level of availability, Matt, of data for the kind of work that maybe companies and marketers need for their business?
Yeah, I mean, as Brian said, there's very little. And I mean, good afternoon to all the viewers and listeners. It would be fantastic for example, the advertisers, which will no doubt cut to an ad break soon, and advertisers are going to want to pay for that advertising slot. But if we can't tell them exactly how many people are watching right now, exactly how many people are listening now, and also tell them anything about them. Who are they? What do they want? What are their passions? What are their fears? Then it's very, very difficult to make a compelling argument to the advertiser, as for example Joy News, as to why they should pay a premium to advertise on your program. And we don't need to know, they don't need to know on average over the course of 2 months how many people are watching Joy News. They need to know how many people are watching Joy News right now. And they need to know that tomorrow.
In real time.
Latest. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Today is best, tomorrow is okay. Next week, next month, no.
Yeah, and which would you target in trying to gather data that is relevant for marketers and media planners?
It's everyone. It's everyone watching and listening now. It's everyone in Ghana. Your typical audience measurement system, like for example, we've just begun implementing in Nigeria, requires a very large-scale commitment from the industry. You have to do a big establishment survey up front because you need to be able to extrapolate your survey results to a national population. So instead of saying 27% of our panel watch Joy News today, we have to be able to say, whatever it is, 4.5 million Ghanaians watch Joy News today. And that requires a very scientific approach. And the others, so there's that, which is obviously quite cumbersome and slow-moving and requires typically government involvement or an industry-level agreement. The other side of it is agile, flexible, daily data, which can start at quite a small scale. And on the principle that some data is better than nothing, you can start quite small and build it up from there. And that's what we've been doing with PhD.
All right, so apart from numbers, what else are you looking at in terms of the insights you're trying to pick from the data you gather?
I'll hand over to Peter. I mean, Peter's the cook in the kitchen. I supply the ingredients. Peter does the cooking. Bright is the waiter who delivers it to clients.
Yeah, so it's really a holistic approach, right? So we are looking into the day in the life of the consumers. We are overlaying that data with how they, interact with products and services. We are also sort of doing, specialized, qualitative surveys, in the form of like focus groups, right? To sort of drill deeper, right? Quantitative is good, qualitative is good as well, but the amalgamation of these two types of data sources gives you a more rounded, insight into, how you can, leverage technology and data to deliver better value, as a brand, as, even down to government, as a matter of fact. But generally speaking, what we are preaching today is data agility.
Okay.
Right? Data agility, just like, my colleagues have said, planning based on a month ago data is like working on archive data. Exactly. But if you could take action based on what is happening right now, that is, the stuff.
Yeah, so I guess the question now is how do we ensure sustainability and better coverage and regularity of data collection with limited funding as a big challenge? How do we do that?
Yeah, so it takes industry level. Sometimes it has to take policy, even at governmental level, to say that we need to be more efficient in the use of our investment into targeting consumers, whether you're targeting voters or whatever you're doing. You have to be very effective because the resources are challenged in these times. And so we need to invest in order to be able to save ourselves from wasting our resources, the scanty resources we have, in not being precise enough, not using the right kind of insights to be able to be cost efficient at targeting and reaching consumers at the time we need to reach them. And so we are launching a product called Ocular.
Okay.
It's a consumer intelligence platform which provides live dashboard from the live analytics that is being done by the technology that we have developed. So you can go there, whether you're a client or agency or media owner, to interrogate the data and see trends from yesterday through to the point where you can begin to predict what people will do next month. Okay, so how does it work? What's the experience like? You taking that?
Yeah. So it's basically a live dashboard, right? We're partnered with Jopo. Matt sits in Jopo. He's the West and Central Africa Regional Director. So they have research capabilities across all types of research, whether it's face-to-face, mobile, SMS, whatever you can think of, right? So they do the research, using whatever methodologies and technologies they have deployed, and then they make that available to us programmatically. So we synchronize that data, and then we do a bit of additional cleaning and make it available live on the dashboard. So from a marketing standpoint, you're sitting down on the Ocular platform today, you're looking at trends that starts as soon as yesterday, downward, and then you're able to take immediate action, exactly.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have to end this conversation, but it's pretty insightful, some of the things that we are learning about media and marketing, and I'm excited about Ocular, so hopefully in future we'll hear more about it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
CEO of PhD Ghana, Matt Angus Hammond, Regional Director, Jopo West Africa, Peter Olom, who is Technology and Development Manager, OMG West and Central Africa. Thank you guys for coming in studio.
Thank you.
And that's the marketplace. Thanks for watching.